It's that time of the week again. Time for a little bit of total chaos. This is week 12, college football total chaos with me, Allie Burns, and him, Kurt Alexander. The promo code of the week is DOG. Use it and save 15% on the entire site. But you're not going to beat me this week, Kurt, because you're going to end up facing Sean Higgs, a new handicapper, this Saturday
Yeah.
at 1 p.m. Eastern. Are you ready for it?
Allie, I was born ready. I like to call this game total domination. And Sean will learn early enough that sometimes it could be total domination and other times it could be total dominatrix. You could get your butt whooped. It just all depends on what you're into.
Well, I only won one of our weekly sessions. Your 6-week total is 40, 28, and 4. So you are the reigning champion, and you will take on Mr. Higgs this Saturday live for our NFL picks on Picks and Parlays YouTube. But before we get to that, you and I have some business. We're going to run through our 5 college picks for the week. Are you ready to rock and roll?
Let's rock and roll.
All right, so the first one is Clemson at Florida State. The number is 66. Go ahead.
Allie, I've talked many times about the Florida State defense, how I can't trust them. They actually helped me get a push on the over last week, and that was luck. Basically, that game was going dead under. I'm actually going to take this game under the total. The Florida State offense is not going to be able to move the ball against Clemson. That's what it's going to come down to. Clemson will be able to put up points, and I know Clemson can put up the 66 themselves. I just don't think they will. I believe that we're going to get Mr. Lawrence back this game. The offense will look a lot better, but I think they'll blow out Florida State, probably get up in the 40 range, and then kind of finish the game off. So I'm under that total.
You know, I went back and forth on this one. And finally, I ended up with the under because 21 points of the Clemson Notre Dame game were scored in that overtime. And that total would have came in right at 66. And FSU is not Notre Dame. They're only averaging 22 points a game. I think they're going to have a real hard time with Clemson's defense. The only thing that kind of worried me was that Clemson did lose that game. So maybe they're going to want to come after FSU hard. But it's a lot of points for this cruddy Seminoles team to be able to handle. So I'm with you. Let's go under this one. Up next,
Okay.
I have LSU at Arkansas. It's 65. Go for it.
Allie, I love taking Arkansas games over. Last week, I was on the over with Arkansas and Florida. And in 2 quarters of that game last week, they scored 35 points combined. Okay, that's Florida, and twice they did that last week. So that just kind of lets you know I watch the games, and it's just a track meet. You know, it's a 10-yard run, breaks one guy's ankles, and it turns into a 60-yard run and a touchdown. And then the next team will come back. So it seems like Arkansas gets teams into this game where it's just a shootout style of football. Hey, we're going to let you score as much as you want to score, but we're also going to try to score on you. This game, LSU, Arkansas, believe it or not, I'm taking this under the total just because I think the number's just a little too high for this game. I've seen LSU shut down offenses and basically come in under the total. So I'm looking for this one to go under the total. I think they just have it too high, just a little too high for me.
I went the other way on this one, and I know part of that Arkansas-Florida game was Felipe Franks returning to Florida, so I expected that one to get up there pretty high. But this game, LSU-Arkansas, comes down to defenses for me, or lack of defenses, I should say. Both of the teams are letting their opponents score up into the 30s. On the other side of the ball, we know that they can both put a lot of points on the board. It is a pretty high total, but I think it can be done, and especially with both of these teams coming off of losses, I think that's going to fire them up. So I'm going over on this one. Up next, we have Cincinnati at UCF. The number 62.5.
Allie, I'm actually taking this game under the total, and it's Cincinnati's defense, you know, and 12 points a game. 12 points a game. How are we going to get to this 60 number if they're allowing a game? It's against UCF. This is a big rivalry, so I look for this game to be a real tightly matched game. I don't see the track meet, and even last week, UCF found themselves in a pretty low-scoring game. So I like this game to go under the total. I like Cincinnati's defense. Their offense controls the game. So Cincinnati gets the lead, and they pretty much grind the rest of the game out. They'll continue to score, but they're nothing. Yeah, I like this game under.
I went that way as well. This is one of those games that feels like it's such an obvious over, right? Two really high scoring teams. Joe
Right.
Public's going to be all over hitting the over here. So I got to take this under. The offenses are explosive and powerful and super fun to watch and all that good stuff. But the Cincy defense is really impressive. And UCF's ain't bad either. So I'm going to go out on
Go.
a limb here and take it under. Up next, we have Kansas State at Iowa State. I got it at 46.
Allie, the only reason I could see this total being as low as it is because of bad weather. I wanted to take this game over. Both teams are scoring almost 30 points a game. Both defenses are allowing over 25 points a game. And you have a total of 47, now down to 46. So this is climbing down. Maybe a little too low for my liking, where I will jump on the over just because now in the pros, you see weather affect the game. Like in Cleveland, we see how the weather affects the game. In college, it seems like these kids don't care. They're just playing in the rain. So if it might be rainy, snowy, whatever, bad conditions, I think this will still go over that 47, 46, actually. I think it'll go over. They're going to get that total down low enough that they'll just get right over it.
See, I went under here, and it was the same reason. It was the weather. I mean, neither defense was incredible. Both offenses are completely capable, but the
Yeah.
weather could be a factor. I saw it was like 40 degrees and rainy and cloudy
Yeah.
and ugly. Basically. The line's dropping towards the under. I'm just going to roll with this one. I could see this staying under. Also, it's another one that you feel like is going to go over. So, I'm going to un-Joe
Okay.
Public. So Oklahoma State at Oklahoma is the last one, and that number is 59. So what do you got on this one?
Allie, I want to take this game under the total because you know how I like defenses. And Oklahoma State, that's a school that has a good defense, allowing 18 points a game. But Oklahoma is putting up 46. So something's going to have to give. All right. And I don't think it's going to be Oklahoma's offense. I think this is going to be a shootout, interstate rivalry. Yeah, in-state rivalry. I think Oklahoma State will be able to put up points and keep this game close enough with Oklahoma, but they're going to have to keep it close because Oklahoma will put points up. I like this game to go over the total.
Yeah, this is another one that I feel is so obviously over, but I'm not going to
Yeah.
take it under. I'm going to go over with it. I've seen these two teams play many times before, and I feel like this one might, for like Oklahoma State, it might feel a lot like it did with the Texas game. There could be an overtime here. It's a huge rivalry. I'm going over. You got to go over here. I'm going over. That's how we're going to do it. All right, Kurt. Well, thanks for playing. Can't wait to see who wins this round. And for all of you at home, tune in this Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern on Picks and Parlays Facebook and YouTube pages so you can see expert handicappers Sean Higgs and Kurt Alexander go head to head and give you their play on every game on the NFL card.